All right, welcome to the Wednesday team call. I'm super excited. It's sunny here in Idaho. It's t-shirt weather, which means it's about 45 degrees. So we're excited here in Idaho Falls because the sun's out and we can get outside and play. So want to go over a couple quick announcements real quick before I introduce our guest speaker for our 30-minute mentor series that we're doing. First of all, the first item of business that we could talk about real quickly is the Super Saturday. So Super Saturday is coming up on this it's like in the first week. It's April 8th, I believe is the exact date. Let me double check and make sure. It is the 8th. So the 8th of April, there's a Super Saturday in your close to your town. So I want to give you guys an example. I'm going to tell you guys a quick little story, okay? I remember as a brand new coach, I remember my first three coaches. One of them is Jennifer Greenberg. She was my third coach, who you guys know on this team. She's a 9-star diamond. She's in the Million Club, Success Club All-Star. She was my third coach that ever started with me, but my first two were from my hometown, went to high school with me. I remember we started a fit club in the first week. I started as a coach. We set up a fit club. We ironed on these P90X logos and they fell off before we got to Fit Club. But I remember being at Fit Club and we invited everybody and no one came but us three. And I remember my coach, she looked at me afterwards when we were packing up the DVD player and she's like, "Scottie, are we doing Super Saturday?" And I was like, "Yes, we are." And remember, I'm like a week into my coach journey. So I went home and because I told her we were doing it, I went home and Googled Beachbody Super Saturday, learned what it was, learned that I could register one, and we registered it and had Super Saturday that weekend. It was just us three, and we watched the video. We didn't know what we were doing, but that's how it started. But we've been able to watch Super Saturdays grow. I've seen them all, been to them all across the country. And going to events are one of the biggest things to grow your business because it increases the belief that you have in yourself as you see other people. We do video chats on Facebook, and that's all nice, but when you can hug somebody, see them in person, it makes this more real. And also one thing that does is you're talking on Facebook about this challenge groups, and now your life is changing, and people look at it like we're crazy. It's just what they do. So when you go live on Facebook Live or post up pictures and you're working out in a room with 20 people, 10 people, 300 people, people are like, "Whoa, this is real. This is a real community of people." And they begin to open up more about listening to what you're saying, watching your posts a little more closely, investigating, and actually paying more attention to what you're doing and what you're inviting them to. So get to events, get to Super Saturday. Instead of Googling, you don't have to Google it. You can go to www.coachfaq.com. Search Super Saturday. It'll give you a link with an interactive map where you can find the location nearest you. If there's not one, host it. Even if it's just you, host your own. That'll be the humble beginnings of your Beachbody business. Next thing that I want to share with you guys is Team Beachbody Coach Summit is July 13th through the 16th. So it's a Thursday through Saturday night. So most people fly out on Sunday. We're going to be doing, I'm not sure the exact time, we have a room reserved for 1,500 people. I'm not sure if we're doing it Wednesday night or Thursday morning, but Miguel and I are doing a team meeting where we'll be doing speaking. We're bringing a guest speaker as well. Last year we had 800 people at our team meeting, and it was awesome. It was called the Ignite event. So if you're flying in, make sure you come Wednesday so you can be at the team meeting. Or if it's Thursday morning, you're there early and you can be there with us Thursday morning. So I want to remind you guys of that. Also, in the team page, there's people that are getting some VRBO homes and stuff and looking for roommates. So if you don't have a roommate or haven't bought your ticket yet, just know that if you come ask us, we can help put you up in a room, get you situated so you don't feel alone as you come to Summit, because I know what that feels like. So we want to make you feel comfortable, help you feel a part of the team when you arrive there, because there's going to be 25,000 people. So I think it's awesome that we're going to have about 1,500 of them representing us. So invite your coaches. One thing I want to share with you, I've heard from coaches recently that they thought they had to be a certain rank or things like that to be a part of Summit. You do not have to be. You just buy your ticket as a coach and you come, and it'll be a life-changing experience for you. I remember Brigitte Linford, one of my personally sponsored coaches as well from my hometown. She came 7 weeks into her coach journey with her husband, and it just changed everything, but gave them a huge picture of what was possible for them and completely changed their life as well. So those are the two announcements that I wanted to make about making sure you get to Super Saturday and that you get to Summit as well. I want you guys to know that there's one other thing, and because I put all of our team calls up on YouTube. That's where we have our recordings. Oh, I'm not going to name the name of it so people can't search our top secret training, but we just got done with the Dynasty Income Surge, which was absolutely phenomenal. And anybody that is watching this, Deb, your team as well, I've been putting those up on YouTube one at a time. There's like 15 of them or so. But we have a new surge coming on that starts on Monday that is all about inviting, ins and outs of inviting, everything involving inviting, about using social media invite, how to not be salesy, how to follow up with people, what do you say to people, how do you talk to people, and I believe it's going to be powerful. So with that being said, post on the team page if you don't know where that is, and we'll make sure we get you the link. You can hop into that surge. It starts on Monday. So with that being said, I'm going to introduce our speaker today, Deborah Baska. She's a 5-time elite coach. And Deborah, I'm only going to share your age because I have coaches asking me, they're in their 40s or 50s, and they're like, can I do this? It seems like it's only young people doing this. Deb is 49 years old. She has, 3 kids? She has 3 kids, and she's a 10-star diamond coach and a 2-star diamond in her second business center. She's for a few years been a 6-figure earner. She's an SC10 All-Star legend for like 63 months. So for 63 months, she's hit Success Club 10 every single month. So she knows what she's talking about, and so I'm super excited to let you guys learn from her, and we're ready to get some wisdom from you, Deborah. So I'm going to pass the time over to you.
Well, thank you so much. I'm so honored to be asked to speak on your call. And I can remember back in the day in my life when I used to be the young one. Like, I was the young one when I was hired at my corporate America job. I was the young executive. And now I'm representing the people that are kind of in their second stage of life. And that's really what I have been able to do. Basically, shortly after I turned 40, I completely re-engineered my life, which, I was kind of on a downward spiral of life before that. I won't go into a ton of details about my story. It is one of the success stories on the Beachbody YouTube channel, but coming right out of 40, I was entering recovery for alcoholism. I was a corporate executive, so I was basically living almost like a double life. The successful businesswoman, successful mom, happy marriage, have everything going for you, but on the inside, kind of just dying a slow death. While I had also been going through that part of my life, I had let all of my fitness go. So, I had been a dancer, I had been a fitness instructor as a young woman, and basically once I had my kids and started into my career, I had let all of my fitness go. And I never really had a weight problem, even though if you follow me on social media, I talk a lot about going through stages where I went through bulimorexia. So I saw myself as having a weight problem, but I now know I never did. So that my story is not one of physical transformation either. So, I'm the woman that's over 40. I don't have a big physical transformation. I came out of a successful career, so I don't really have this rags to riches story. So how did I get to be successful as a Beachbody coach? I don't have cute little babies I can take pictures with. My kids now they're both in college. So basically, coming into Beachbody, my husband and I came in as customers. We both found our fitness back with P90X. Yes, start at the top, right? And what I found was that I was getting complimented on my muscles. And I had never had muscles before, even when I was, working out as a group exercise instructor, because frankly, coming from the background I was in, muscles weren't really a thing. I mean, back in the 80s, you wanted to be skinny. And you wanted to look like Olivia Newton-John doing the let's get physical, right? You know, muscles weren't a thing. And so I could out cardio anybody, but I was never really worried about having muscles. But, you know, being 41, 42 and coming out of a period of my life where I felt so frail and so weak and so much, just so vulnerable, finding my physical strong helped me find my mental strong. And so that's my story. My story is one of a internal transformation. After we did P90X, we continued on doing more of the programs, and I just fell in love with working out at home. We still had a gym membership, but you know, I was a corporate executive by this time. I had worked my way up the proverbial corporate ladder, been at the same company for 20 years, and you know, I was working on a traveling exhibit, so I was traveling a lot. I did insanity from hotel rooms. So, you know, when people tell me I don't have room to work out, I'm like, okay, I can do insanity between two beds, you know, and I think that everybody can find room. That where there's a will, there's a way. So, you know, when I found out about coaching, it was right about the time when I was deciding to try Shakeology. And again, coming from my background, 500 calories a day was like what I thought I needed to do to maintain my weight. So I did not have a healthy attitude towards food. So it was a real, you know, I had got past all that, but it was a real eye-opener for me when I was doing the Beachbody workouts, when the trainers were talking about Shakeology at the end of the videos. And they were talking about fueling your body. And Shalene would tell me I'm an athlete. And Shanti would tell me I'm an athlete. And I was like, well, I'm an athlete. I better fuel my body like an athlete because that's what they're telling me to do. Maybe I'm gullible, I don't know, but I like to think I'm our ideal customer, right? I believe what you guys tell me. So I asked one of my random Facebook Beachbody coach people that, you know, were talking to me, and she said, yeah, I'll give you a sample of Shakeology. I tried it. I thought, you know, I could do this. I mean, I'm not a drink my nails kind of girl, but it tastes good. So I think in order to fuel my body, I can do this. So I decided if I'm going to do Shakeology, I might as well get the discount. So I signed up as a coach, told my sponsor, I'm a really busy lady. I've got a very big job. I'm not going to be doing much with this. So, you know, don't bother me. Just, you know, just so we know where I stand. And maybe that's why she put me on the inside leg of the inside leg. I don't know. So yes, I'm on an inside leg of a really, really big organization, but that's not the point either. So once I got into the Beachbody coaching community, and I talk about this a lot today, I talk about the tribe, and I have people today that are messaging me saying, I want to be a part of your tribe. So, I mean, people want to belong to something, and I'm giving them something to belong to because I found that. Even when I started out as what we call a discount coach, which is not really a thing, right? There's no box when you sign up to say, I want to be a discount coach versus a business building coach, right? It's not a thing. I'm trying to teach my team. It's not a thing. Even though I wasn't really that interested in building the business, I was still kind of interested because I was in a corporate career by this time that I was really hating. It was not pretty. It was very political. It was very stressful. And as a recovering alcoholic, you want to get rid of all the squirreliness in your life. And that was really the big squirrely in my life was my work. I mean, it was just messing with my mind and anxious and anxiety. So I started learning about the business. I started, you know, and it was so much fun. I mean, it was the fun part of my day. I would get up before work. I'd sit down at my bar in there, my kitchen bar, and I would do my Facebook messaging, and I would take my little tracker sheet to work. I'd fold it up in my purse and get it out on my little cracks of time and check things off, check off invites, check off contacts. I would go into my car for the national wake-up call every week. And yes, I started taking my lunch hours because as an executive, you're not supposed to take your lunch hours, right? And you're supposed to be there before everybody else and stay after everybody else. Well, I started taking my lunch breaks. And I stopped showing up at the butt crack of dawn because I was doing my Beachbody work at home. And that is not why things were going south at my company, I can assure you. We had some management changes, et cetera. About 6 months into coaching, my job came to an end by mutual agreement. It was kind of a big surprise. It was 1 month short of my 20-year anniversary. I was basically, prior to that, I was in tears more times than I was not. So it was a really good thing for me. It was scary though. And I can remember, coming home and telling my husband, we knew that, we knew it was coming, but, and I told him, okay, I'm gonna build this business because I'm not gonna put myself or my family through what I went through with that company. I remember looking ahead, thinking, oh my gosh, it's almost my 20-year anniversary. Gosh, isn't that what we all strive for? And gosh, they're probably gonna throw me a party, and I'm wondering, they're gonna give me a nice gift, and I'll be the youngest 20-year anniversary person at the company. And then I remember thinking, oh my goodness, I have another 20 years till I can retire. Oh my goodness, another 20 years of this. It's taken me so long to get here, and I've been through so much, and now I have to do it again. I have to do it all over again. That was pretty sad. But God intervened. He opened this door for me. I think he truly shoved me through the door that I needed to go through because I wasn't brave enough to do it on my own, right? When you're in some place for 20 years, you get very comfortable. Even though you're uncomfortable, you're comfortable, right? And I kind of dabbled in sending out my resume, but it wasn't until I got that kick in the butt through the door that I realized I need to do something else, and I meant to do something else. So, long story short, here we are. As Scottie said, Success Club 10 legend. I've been hitting Success Club since my first month as a coach, Success Club 5, and then I went into 10, and I never looked back. New coaches, wherever you are at with this business, that's definitely a non-negotiable goal. And that's part of, my success plan has always been built on doing what my sponsor told me to do, listening to the national wake-up calls and doing what those coaches told me to do, and setting those non-negotiable goals like Success Club. But I wanted to talk to you today about a topic that kind of just fell into my head. And it's really around selling. And I kind of told Scottie, I want to talk about, if you hate selling, then stop selling. Because I am not a salesperson. And I feel like I'm actually one of the least likely people to be successful in a network marketing business because I'm a raging introvert. I'm almost social recluse. I can get on a stage and dance, and I can, speak on calls, but one-on-one, face-to-face phone calls, not my jam. I don't have a large social circle, being almost a social recluse. My friends circle were all colleagues, coworkers. So when I left there, they all stayed at work, and I had to, come out and make all new friends on Facebook, right? So, from 200 Facebook friends to almost 5,000, that's what I set about doing. And frankly, for me, I was glad that I could build this business with people I didn't know. Because for me, the thought of talking to people, to my friends and my family, that would feel like sales to me. And so I actually I did tell them about it. None of them signed up. None of them used the products. If I would have used that as my ruler for my level of success, I would have quit right away. Because the people that you love most and that you think probably love you the most, my mom signed up, yes, but my closest friends, not. That would have made me second guess myself. But it didn't. I just, again, I kept tuning into the top coaches and national wake-up calls and doing what they told me to do. And that was go out and find new friends. So, the fact that I don't ever feel like I'm selling. I've thought a lot about this. And I took my team out to Utah, a few weeks ago, and Jeff Hill was there. And he spoke about how our business, he never talks about us as a multi-level marketing company because we are a product-based company, right? We're product-based, meaning, a lot of multi-level marketing companies, they lead with the business. And in fact, I can remember when I was researching companies, like in my early days as a coach, like Body by Vi and stuff like that, when I would go to their website, it was all about the business. It's all about how you can get a car and how you can do this and how you can do that. And I had a hard time finding out what the products were. With Beachbody, not at the case at all. I mean, we are a product-based company, right? And what we do is we are unapologetic about what it takes to be successful. Just like we're unapologetic about what it takes to be successful with your fitness, right? It takes exercise, it takes eating right, and it takes discipline to keep doing that time over time. Well, that's what it takes to be successful in the business, right? You've got to work hard, you've got to be disciplined, and you have to believe in what you're doing. And so my top suggestion for how to stop selling is, number one, you have to believe in what you've got to offer. You've got to believe, and you have to be unapologetic about it. So number two, believing starts with being a product of the product, right? If you're not using the products, how are you going to talk to people about them? If you're not using the products, you are a salesperson. If you're trying to get somebody to buy a product you are not using, then in my opinion, you're a salesperson. And that is not a position I ever want to be in. Now, of course, as a newer coach, you haven't tried every single product, right? But you will. You know, you may start out with psychology, but you're going to try the performance line, and you're going to do the ultimate or the 3-day refresh at least a few times. And you're probably going to do the ultimate reset at least once. Yes, I've tried it twice, and I've not been very successful with that. But I did it. I can tell people, you know, what it's like. So be a product of the product. It sounds, you've heard it before, but it's there for a reason. If you believe in what you have to offer and you're a product of the product, then how can you possibly be a salesperson? You're somebody that is offering something that has helped you to help that person. And so that's why I think I've heard Jeff or Carl talk about, I have 3 dogs, sorry. And there's like, okay. Oh, our psychology was just delivered. There it is. But a multi-level helping company maybe is more along the lines of what you might say we are. So if you think about in terms that you're just trying to help people, and yes, you have to get over, and that's another thing, you've got to get over yourself. You have to get over the fact that, yes, you can make money by helping other people. Doctors do it, teachers do it, social workers do it, hairdressers do it, you know, people in restaurants do it. Think about it. Commerce, if you're in business, you are selling something. You are exchanging products or services for money. And that there's nothing wrong with that. That's called a free trade society, right? That's what we do. So you have to get over the fact that you receive money for helping people. And the thing about it is, if you're offering so much value above and beyond, then the value that you offer is never something that you need to apologize for. Don't give away your time for free all the time, right? Free groups are great. Add tons and tons of value. And see, that's another way I can avoid feeling like a salesperson. Sorry about that. I wish I'm like, they're going to stop anytime now, but they're not stopping. It's like they're singing. There's 3 of them. They're like singing. Another way I feel like I'm not a salesperson is by offering more value. So if somebody wants to join a challenge group and I'm telling them that they need this and that to join, and they're giving me trouble about that, or they're resistant, or they're truly saying they don't have the money, then I can always offer them a free group, right? So that way I build the relationship. I'm not telling them, no, you cannot work with me unless you have money. I'm telling them, well, this group may not be for you right now, but I have this other thing for you. So always offering value is a great way to not feel like a salesperson. The number 3 thing I offer is always be conversational. And myself being the raging introvert and not being one much for small talk, right? I had to learn that. I had to learn to be, and I'm also a red personality. So I'm like, okay, just tell me what I need to know and let's move on. And so that's really the way I like to give information too. I want to tell you about it and then I want to move on. And of course, I made the mistake as a new coach of when somebody would ask me for more information, I would give it to them. I would give it to them. Now, when somebody asks for more information, what do? You ask a question. Awesome, I'd be happy to share that with you. Can you tell me a little bit more about your goals? Can you tell me what you're doing? Can you tell me why you were interested in joining my summer body boot camp? Always ask questions. Always ask questions. Always ask questions. And that's the way to be conversational. I'm kind of an inviting queen. I invite out the wazoo. And I use scripts, but I use my own script. And my own script is conversational. And so if you're opposed to scripting, I mean, some people are, but I think that you put your own words together, and I've worked hard, right, to find the right words, to make it be super casual, super nonchalant. And once I find that right combination, then why would I not use it and use it and use it? And I do tweak. I mean, every time I go through an inviting, like for a specific, you know, for the month, like I'll have my set little script for the month, and I change it, I tweak it, but it always has some of the same elements. It always starts by saying, I wanted to make sure you saw I'm hosting a XXX group, because that's they probably didn't see it. You know, they didn't see my post. Of course they didn't. But that's just my way of saying, hey, I want to make sure you saw, because I'm being helpful, right? I'm being helpful. And I always end with a question. Do you have any fitness goals you'd like to tackle before summer? Do you have any fit goals you'd like to tackle before the end of the year? Do you have any fit goals you'd like to target for 2017? I always end with a question. Because if you end with a question of, would you like to join my group? They're going to say no. So I let them know I have a group, and then I ask them about themselves. So be conversational. My number 4 tip about not selling is always end with friendship. So I try to always look at every conversation I have, regardless of if it ends with a yes, I want to join your talent group or not. I look at it as an opportunity to build the relationship. And again, raging introvert, relationship building, I had to learn the skill. And I can tell you, it has enhanced my life in so many ways. Relationships are a beautiful, beautiful thing. And so for someone like myself that's always been kind of a loner, that's been a huge blessing that Beachbody's brought into my life. It's taught me to open myself up to other people and allow them to open up to me. And people do open up to you. It's amazing when you ask and when you're curious and when they know you care, that they open up. So I always leave them with friendship. If they tell me they're doing something else, I'll say, awesome. I am so happy that you're taking charge of your fitness. I would love to be your biggest cheerleader. Will you keep me posted on your progress? And then I'll make a little follow up with them in another month and ask them, hey, how is it going? Are you having amazing results? Sometimes they are, and sometimes they aren't, which then lets you go into more of a helping conversation. The other thing I want to say, number 5, I've already kind of mentioned it, is be unapologetic. And I already mentioned being unapologetic, but along with that goes, don't be defensive. My goal whenever I am talking with somebody is I want to seek to educate, because sometimes you'll get people that come back with, you know, objections, or they're using this product or that product. And I can remember I used to get kind of like, I could feel myself getting hot, you know, as I'm, you know, telling them about Shakeology and I would feel myself getting hot, and I'm like, whew, you know. So I finally had to realize, okay, take a step back, seek to understand, seek to educate. And I would even tell them that. I would say, you know, I'm totally not trying to convince you of anything. I just want to make sure you have the best information I can give you. And then I might send them some information about Shakeology or another program or whatever. So, you know, that's something that even helps me, is to remind myself, you know, I would even write myself a note, you know, seek to understand, seek to educate, you know. So those are some things that I've done for kind of helping myself. You know, I think that at the very beginning, when I was a new coach, I did feel more uncomfortable, because remember, everything great happens on the outside of your comfort zone. And when your sponsors and the top coaches are telling you that it's going to get easier, that is a natural feeling, you have to believe them, and you have to be willing to push through that discomfort. Now, I did feel more discomfort, but today when somebody tells me Shakeology is too expensive, you know, I have a response back for that. And at the end of the day, if they're just convinced that it is, then I'm not going to convince them otherwise, and it's not my job to do that. It's my job to educate. It's my job to help. It's my job to leave them with friendship, right? And it's my job to also let them know that you can disagree with me. You can believe that your Walmart shake is just as good as my Shakeology. I'll still be your friend. And guess what? You're going to hear from me in another month or a few weeks or whatever. And I'm going to be saying, hey, I just wanted to make sure you saw I have a summer body boot camp coming up. Do you have any fitness goals you'd like to tackle this year? And you know what? A lot of times those people that were so convinced are now ready to listen to what I have to say. So that's my nuggets of information for you today.
Awesome. Deborah, that was like one of my favorite calls. And I don't say that to everybody, just so that you know. No, super awesome. Like, the chat is like blowing up. Like, I was over here like scribbling notes down. You know what's funny? And I'm going to reiterate this for everybody watching. I love that you said, I'm going to be your friend. Is you were talking about the Walmart. I was the Walmart shake guy. I did P90X 4 times.
With Walmart shakes.
Finished drinking a Walmart shake. And Lindsay Matway invited me to try Shakeology. I tried it. I mixed it wrong. So there's a thing. Help make sure they do it right. I mixed it in a coffee mug with like lukewarm water out of the sink at work in the shop. And I mixed it with a spoon and it was chunky. So I didn't like it. So I needed time to be educated and a good friendly follow-up if I did it right or correctly. But you know, she basically, what you said was like on point to exactly what she did. I'll still be your friend. I'll still support you. I'll still be your biggest cheerleader as you continue doing P90X. And then she would invite me to be in a challenge group. She would invite me to be as a coach. And I told her no so many times over 8 months, even during 1 month. And I like to say this as a reminder, there was a waive the $40 sign-up fee. You didn't have to pay anything, like $0. You could sign up online for $0 and become a coach. And I still told her no. But she said, I'll still be your friend. I like that. I like that line. So believe in what you have to offer people. And that's on all levels. Believe that you have some value in yourself. Believe that the products change lives and that the business opportunity works for anybody that works it. Number 2, product of the product. And what I loved, I've never heard it said this way, but if you are not being a proof the product works, you are being a salesperson. Or if you're not using the products, you're being Yeah. Incredible advice. And then always offer more value. And I'm just going to throw it, because I like you guys to know what Deb and I are doing behind the scenes. Today, I kind of like my current list has kind of been invited out the wazoo to the coach sneak peek we're running this week. So I don't really have anything for my follow-ups to invite them to right now. So I sent them, I think it's Mel Robbins' YouTube video about stop screwing yourself. And just said, hey, this is a video that helped me realize some things in my life. It helped add value to me. I just want to send it to you, let you watch it, see if it can help you with anything you're working on. And so I'm always just adding value like that, sharing things that work for me. So sometimes it's not even about inviting them to do a challenge group or in your group or your coach sneak peek, but also to listen to something that might trigger something in their mind to change their lifestyle. And I've seen that to help as well. And that's being a friend. It's giving someone something that's helped you as well. So Deb, awesome call. I'm super blessed that you are on with us. And I have to ask you, because I didn't talk to you about it, what wave are you on in Punta Cana?
First.
Well, I won't see you. We're on the second wave, but we'll see you at Summit for sure.
Yay. Can't wait.
Okay. Thanks, Deb. And everybody who's on this call. This is Deborah Baska, 5-time elite coach. Incredible value she shared today on not being a salesperson. So the team call will be up on my YouTube channel, also on the team pages a little bit later today. Share it with your teams if this added value to you or helped you see some things. And let's go have an amazing week. We got millions of people that need our help, so let's go help them. See you guys later.
Bye-bye.